Hey, good people, how you doing? Welcome to episode 42 of 254 Rugby, where the roar of the Simbas this week meets the pulse of African rugby. We are just hours away from a fiery quarterfinal clash between Kenya and Uganda at the 2025 Rugby Africa Cup. And yes, the Kenya Simbas squad is out. There's a person we spoke to. This is Patrick Sabatia. He is set to make his full debut, named in the starting 15. He starts at open side flank alongside a dynamic back row that also includes Thomas Okeo at blindside and the ever reliable Bethel Anami at number 8. Well, we caught up with Sabatia in Kampala during the Simbas captain's run, and this is what Patrick Sabatia, better known as Patrick Lumumba Sabatia, had to say.
Naitwa Patrick Lumumba, that is, kwa sababu unajua, official name Patrick Sabatia.
Maybe how has been the preparation?
Preparation imekuwa good. Mwanzo kwanza vile tulienda hivi ilikuwa some sort of training of which high performance training, and ilikuwa fit and hatuwezi complain, ndio tumekama hapa kushowcase.
Tomorrow a big game against Uganda, maybe what should you expect?
Me expectation yangu niko nayo tu ni win, of course, as usual. Hiyo ndio expectation sasa, tuko na si ati vitu zingine else, just win.
You are making a debut kesho, maybe umejipangaje? Are you under any pressure to perform?
Game ni kama game zingine, haijalishi, but sisema ati niko that into 100%, but nitasema itakuwa game fit of win. Pembe nimebambika, ni kwa first starting team and stuff. I hope ku deliver kwa
maybe a message to the fans.
watoke mfano watoke kama support, zero negative, positive vibe all day.
Maybe finally, in your career, what does this mean for you getting a Kenya Simbas with Angola against our perennial rival?
Nitasema in my career hii nimekuwaga away for me, nimekuwa nikifight ku get part hii level ya rugby, of which nasema God ameniwezesha, so I'm happy kuwa hapa. Hiyo ndio inakuwa dream yangu all day.
Just as you personally, what would you do in your game tomorrow?
Sorry?
In your game
tomorrow,
what do you want to contribute to the team?
For me, nitasema line breaks and stuff, position, because when it's line breaks, high balls and stuff, lazima ni in short nitasema tu roll ya mine. Perfect roll ya mine, everything else that fall into place.
Yeah, and there we hear it from Patrick Sabatia Lumumba. Remember, the full squad has been announced by head coach Jerome Parvota. We do have in the front row Ephraim Odor, Eugene Sifuna, and Wilhite Mususi. In the second row, we have the captain George Nyambua, as well as youngster Andy Cole Omolo. And in the back row, Thomas Okeo, Patrick Sabatia, who we've just talked to, and Bethel Anami. Well, at number 9 at scrum half for the Simbas is Samuel Asati. Barry Young is at fly half at number 10. In midfield positions 12 and 13, we have Walter Okoth at inside center with Bryson Adaka at outside center. On the wings, making up the back three, we have Griffin Chow, Timothy Omela, and the Mercurial Jone Kubu. Now, on the bench, Jerome Parvota has opted for a 6-2 split. And in the reserves, we do have Teddy Akala, Edward Moura, Ibrahim Ayo, and Obat Kuke, as well as 2 potential debutants in Vincent Mkhali and David Bunduki. There are also 2 experienced backs for the Simbas in Brian Tanga and John Okoth. And to think that the likes of Emmanuel Silungi, Elkins Musonye, Brian Wahinya have not made the match day 23 just shows you how much of a dilemma Jerome Parvota and his technical bench must have been in ahead of naming their match day squad. Now, news just in is that the Ugandans have also named their squad. We will be pulling it up on the screen shortly. And there we go. there were a few anticipations which have obviously made sense. We do have Senteza Santos, Nathan Asimire and Fahad Maido in the front row, Julius Opio and Sydney Gondogio in the second row, Frank Chidega, Byron Oketayot and Pius Ogena in the back row. Well, the evergreen, another mercurial player for the Rugby Cranes, that is Aaron Ofoiroth, starts at scrum half. Joseph Aredo will be the fly half. Adrian Casito is on one wing. Isaac Massa is in midfield alongside Ian Munyani. Ivan Otema is on the other wing, while Philip Wokorach is at fullback. For the bench for the Ugandans, there's Edward Emiemu, Blair Ayabazibwe, Saul Chivumbi, Elfas Among, Alexa Turinda, Conrad Wanyama, Liam Walker, and Timothy Chisiga. And, just looking at that Ugandan bench, it is stacked, especially with, you can see the intention there. They've opted for a 4-3 split. Looking at Conrad Wanyama, Liam Walker, and Timothy Chisiga, they will be out to give the Ugandans that impetus coming off the bench. And, we had mentioned those as some of the players to look out for on the Ugandan side. And on the Simbas side, Eugene Sifuna, he is a tank. He will operate from the front row alongside the likes of Andy Kolomolo, Samuel Asati, Timothy Omela, and obviously we know that man is Jone Kubu. Well, what is at stake in this particular fixture? You see, the winner of the Rugby Africa Cup in 2025 qualifies directly for the Rugby World Cup in Australia in 2027. Well, the runner-up, they'll face Asia's second best in a playoff ahead of the final qualifier set for Dubai in November this year. And, as we come to a close of episode 42 of 254 Rugby, these are just some of the players that we said we felt are going to be the talisman. For Kenya, there are Jone Kubu, Fijian born, playing at fullback. It's quite the coincidence that him and his fellow number 15, that is from Uganda, Philip Wokorach, just pulling him up onto the screen right there. These will be the men tasked with winning the game for each side. Remember, this is East Africa's biggest rugby rivalry. It's even African rugby's biggest rivalry in terms of, the animosity, the camaraderie, and the banter between the fans. And to everybody heading out to Nambole on Tuesday, hope you enjoy a good day of rugby. We will be keeping you up to speed with updates from Kampala throughout the Rugby Africa Cup. But for now, checking out of episode 42 of 254 Rugby, this is Michael Kwambo. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, share, leave your comments, and let's catch up tomorrow for a follow-up on how the match went and, what is next in store. Well, like I said, catch you later. Enjoy your viewing.